What's up, YouTube? I'm back with a Diddy trial update, and things are inching to a close. They said the judge in the case would like to have this done before the 4th of July. I guess he wants to not still be dealing with this case that next Monday after they come back from the holiday break. All courts is closed on the 4th of July. And so, DJ Envy on the Breakfast Club made a comment saying, that doesn't give the jurors a lot of time to go over details and what they need to do in terms of making a decision of guilty or not guilty. And having someone's life in your hands like that, and the judge is trying to get the ruling out before the 4th of July. I can understand how you like, man, I want them to take as much time as they need it. Now if it comes back not guilty, hey, great. But then if it comes back guilty, then it's like, hey, they didn't get enough time to go over everything and really get to discuss all of the evidence and what's been presented. And then you like, man, had they had more time to go over the evidence, would my verdict have been a not guilty? So these are some of the details we got coming out with the prosecution and the defense. I'm about to go over with you guys because we could see this. I mean, if they were to get the verdict this week or before the 4th of July, that would actually have the case done before that 8 to 10 weeks that they said. So they were saying at least 2 months. It started May 12th. So this would get it done in under the 2 months. 2 months would be July 12th. So this is a little bit about what they're saying. The prosecution is expected to rest their case on June 23rd or June 24th. Then the defense is supposed to present their arguments and then closing arguments, and then the jury can deliberate, that's the word, by the end of the week or early next week. And like I said, the judge hopes to have the jury get a verdict before the 4th of July. So definitely looking at some fireworks either way with what's about to come down. And so the prosecution is anticipated to finish presenting their case this week, with the assistant U.S. attorney Maureen Comey confirming this expectation. Let's see what else here. Defense case, they plan to present their arguments, which are expected to be short, taking only 2 to 5 trial days. Closing arguments and deliberations. If the schedule holds up like they want it, closing arguments could occur on Thursday of next week. That would be July 3rd. After which the jury will begin deliberations. Well, if they could occur on Thursday of the following July 3rd, unless they get it done on July 3rd, court is closed on July 4th. So the timeline is saying, while the defense aims to rest early in the week and closing arguments are anticipated shortly after, the judge has expressed a desire for the trial to be done before Friday, July 4th. Making it a tight schedule for reaching a verdict. Yeah, because Thursday is July 3rd, 4th of July is on a Friday, and then there's the weekend there. And the judge is basically looking like, hey, I don't want to be back in here dealing with this on Monday, July 7th. So he wants it done before Friday, the 4th of July, for whatever reason. It's definitely very rushed with something this serious and, Puff Daddy's life in the balance. I don't know what his sentencing could be. Some say it could be a life sentence. I don't think it will be that, but still a lot of time. And also, they have released the verdict sheet that's been made public for what the jurors will be looking at. And I'm going to go over what some of that entails. The first question on the verdict sheet is about the racketeering conspiracy. So these are things the jury has to go over, read through, review, and be, is he guilty of this or not, to get, the conviction that the prosecution wants or the not guilty that the defense wants. So the first question on the verdict sheet is about the racketeering conspiracy. That charge is asking for a guilty or not guilty verdict. From there, it asks several questions about whether certain alleged and related crimes took place in California or New York, so they're going off a location. These include arson, witness tampering, sex trafficking, bribery, kidnapping, and forced labor. Can they get a guilty or not guilty on all of those, some of those, for the first question to try and prove the racketeering, the whole RICO thing? Next, the second and third questions are about sex trafficking and transportation with intent to commit prostitution charges relating to Cassie Ventura. Now, Cassie is an adult, but prostitution involves adults, and if it's done illegally, it's not the cat house up in Vegas or nothing like that, then, or an escort service, then yes, you can be charged for that. So even though she's an adult, you can still have illegal prostitution going on with men and women. They don't have any extra details about Cassie's testimony or the Diddy relationship, just a simple guilty or not guilty and how they make their choice as they deliberate. Finally, the same goes for the final two questions on the verdict sheet, which are about Anonymous Jane. That's another lady who testified, rather than Ventura. They also asked about sex trafficking and transportation with intent to commit prostitution charges. So that's what's all on the verdict sheet for Mr. Combs in terms of what's going to be taking place. And so that's been made public if you guys want to check it out. I'm on hotnewhiphop.com, just reading it off of there. It doesn't show the actual sheet, but that's what's on the sheet as far as the questions go. So yeah, they're really trying to get this thing wrapped up quick, fast, in a hurry. Less than 8 weeks. I guess they've heard enough. I personally thought we would see, in terms of the free calls with all of the accusations. I know Tony Busby said he had so many people, over 50 people who had filed lawsuits. I don't know what's going on with that in this whole Diddy trial and things they had accused him of. I thought we would see more famous people than we did, besides Kid Cudi and Don from Danity Kane when he was doing Making the Band. We actually haven't. I thought it would go more into what happened after the parties, at the so-called freak-offs. And I know the jury was allowed to see those videos. They were in a closed room with headphones on, I heard. But still nothing that came out of it, like we would see other celebrities on the freak-off tapes, other people who could be indicted as well, or charged, implicated in some type of criminal activity. It's just been all Puff Daddy. No other celebrities that could possibly get in trouble. I know Jaguar Wright has mentioned a lot, but that's what you have to be taken to court on and charged with for them to, prove that, if that's what it's going to be. So if it's a guilty verdict, it seems like the only famous person that will get in any trouble is Puff Daddy. At this point, I'm not seeing anything else with how fast it's moving and, closing arguments coming, and the judge wants it done before the 4th of July. I don't know what else we might hear that could add other famous people to the mix that could get in trouble. Maybe Diddy should take the stand, some have said, just talk directly to the jury before they go and make their decisions. I know he's very nervous right now. I would be too. You know what you did and what you didn't do. And just to see what these 12 people say. Will they give you a not guilty so he can go celebrate 4th of July with the Combs family, or will he be in jail on the 4th of July? Who knows? But yeah, verdict is expected sooner than later. Versus the 8 to 10 weeks, this would mark it under 8 weeks from what they originally had said. Remember, the trial started May 12th, and this is where we're at with it. So I haven't been covering it a lot. I know some people were doing videos every day following the trial, and I said no, I'll wait till a certain breaking news, something big. Now here we go, possible verdict being reached sooner than later. That's something that I will cover once the verdict is released. I'll be doing a video on that, and the video will be different if it's not guilty versus guilty. Definitely will talk about impact on the music scene, hip-hop culture, all of that, based on whatever the jury comes back with, and where music goes after this and moving forward, and how do we even avoid these situations in the first place when you have that much power and that much money like Diddy, and how to be disciplined with it, sexual discipline, everything. so your money can just, continue to grow. You keep doing your projects and doing everything on the straight and narrow, and not getting caught up in something like this. He was born 1969, so I don't know if his birthday came already. This is year 56 for him. And this is not the time that you want to be in court at 56 years old facing all of this time. No, you really don't. He's in the second half of his life. Not too many people live to 100. There are people living into their 90s, but I wouldn't want to be 56 and have to face the rest of my life in jail. I don't know if he'll make it to 100, but they put him in there for a good 25, 30 years. At 56, it's like, man. So I would be on pins and needles right now as him. And if he needs to take the stand and talk, if the defense thinks that's a good idea, go ahead and throw yourself at the mercy of the jury and just look human to them to try and see what they say. Hopefully the jury does everything in good faith and not feel rushed by the judge wanted this to be done before the 4th of July. I know they probably wanted to get out there too, but you understand, if it was you in that seat and you want people to really take their time and go through everything on that verdict sheet and say, are you really guilty of this or are you innocent? Let's not be thinking about 4th of July coming, I need to get to the barbecue and we got fireworks and everything else. I've been on this case since May 12th. I'm ready to go. Don't play with anyone's life like that, and make sure whatever you're marking down as the jury is something you took the time to really research and contemplate, and make sure we don't put someone that should be innocent in jail, because rush into verdicts like this, or if you go another way and you get to not guilty, and now certain people who were victimized don't get the justice they deserve. So it can go either way with a rush jury verdict. So yeah, verdict coming soon. Might see it by July 3rd. So that'll definitely be a conversation piece when you're at your barbecue on the 4th of July. I'm pretty sure if he's out or not, guilty, not guilty, definitely will be a conversation piece. So at this point, with a verdict around the corner, what do you guys think? Guilty or not guilty? Put that down in the comments below and let me know which way you think the jury's going to go. Send any topics you want me to discuss, videos you want me to review to my YouTube email, as always, cregier.mj@gmail.com. That's CREGIER.mj@gmail.com. That will be down in the description of this video. And like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's Facts or Feelings, all one word, no spaces. Put that in the YouTube search, Facts or Feelings, no spaces, and my channel comes right up. And innocent until proven guilty. Let's see what happens by the 4th of July or before the 4th of July. It's definitely going to be fireworks. I'm out.